In a world long dominated by the slow, lumbering progress of supertankers and the endless wait at congested ports, a silent revolution is underway. Cutting through deserts and mountains, a new force is reshaping Asia, the thunder of a freight train echoing across the continent, promising speed, reliability, and a new kind of connection. On May 25, 2025, a train loaded with Chinese goods arrived at Iran's Afrin dry port, marking the official launch of a direct rail link between China and Iran. A modern Silk Road, built on steel, strategy, and shared ambition. This moment was more than a ceremonial arrival. It was a signal to the world that the balance of power in global trade is shifting. This isn't just a logistical upgrade, it's a geopolitical earthquake, shaking the foundations of old alliances and established trade routes. For decades, Iran's vital oil exports were hostage to maritime routes that were vulnerable to sanctions, blockades, and the ever-watchful eyes of foreign navies. Every shipment was a gamble, every delay a risk to the nation's economy. Now, a 5,300-kilometer railway connects Tehran directly to China, bypassing the old chokepoints and opening a corridor that is faster, safer, and less exposed to international pressure. This is a cornerstone of China's Belt and Road Initiative, a vast, ambitious project to weave together the economies of Eurasia, and a direct challenge to Western dominance in global trade and influence. The West's traditional tools, naval power, financial sanctions, and control over sea lanes, are being sidestepped, not in diplomatic halls or at summits, but on the steel tracks that now crisscross Central Asia. Where ancient caravans once braved the elements to carry silk and spices, modern trains now thunder past, carrying electronics, machinery, and a new vision for Eurasian integration, one that is faster, more efficient, and deeply strategic. For Iran, it's a lifeline, an economic artery that promises growth, jobs, and a measure of independence from the whims of global politics. For China, it's a strategic coup, cementing its influence across the heart of Asia, and securing vital supply chains for decades to come. For the US and its allies, it's a wake-up call, a reminder that the world's economic map is being redrawn, and new players are setting the pace. The rules of global trade are being rewritten, on rails that stretch from the Pacific to the Persian heartland, forging new alliances and new realities. The world is watching as a new era begins, one where the future of trade, power, and partnership is being decided, not on the waves, but on the rails. Building this railway was a feat of engineering, requiring not just technical expertise but also vision and perseverance. Teams of engineers and workers braved harsh climates, from scorching deserts to snow-capped mountains, overcoming obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. It was also a triumph of diplomacy, carving a corridor through some of the world's most complex terrain and uniting countries with diverse histories and interests. The route begins in Iran, winds through Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan, and finally enters China's Xinjiang region, linking directly to China's industrial heartland. Turkmenistan opened its borders, allowing the seamless passage of goods and people. Kazakhstan became the key transit hub, investing heavily in modern rail yards and logistics centers to handle the growing flow of trade. New infrastructure, like the Ayagos-Tacheng Railway and state-of-the-art bridges, made this ambitious vision possible, connecting remote regions and fostering new opportunities. In May 2025, leaders from Iran, China, and Central Asia gathered in Tehran, not just to celebrate a railway, but to lay the groundwork for a transcontinental network, stretching all the way to Europe, signaling a new era of cooperation. This Iron Silk Road is more than just tracks and trains. It's a strategic partnership, binding economies and interests across Eurasia, and fostering trust between nations. It rivals Western-led corridors, offering a powerful alternative and creating an economic bloc that is independent of traditional maritime trade routes. For these nations, the railway is a path to mutual development and prosperity, one that doesn't require Western permission or oversight, but is built on shared goals. It's a collective move to chart their own course in the 21st century, forging a future defined by collaboration, independence, and hope. The railway's biggest advantage? Speed. In a world where time is money, every day saved in transit can mean millions gained or lost. Railways cut through the heart of continents, connecting cities and industries with remarkable efficiency. Shipping from Iran to China by sea takes up to 40 days. The train does it in just 15. That's less than half the time, and it means goods reach markets fresher, faster, and with far less uncertainty. This slashes costs and boosts trade, making Iranian goods and Chinese products flow faster than ever. For businesses, this speed translates to more reliable supply chains and the ability to respond quickly to market demands. Security is another game changer. Sea routes are fraught with danger, piracy, choke points like Hormuz and Malacca, and constant threat of Western intervention. Ships can be delayed, seized, or rerouted at a moment's notice, putting billions at risk. The overland route avoids all that, running through friendly territory, shielded from foreign navies. Trains move under the radar, protected by geography and alliances, making them a safer bet for sanctioned nations. Iran no longer needs risky ghost fleets to evade sanctions. The days of shadowy maritime maneuvers and covert oil transfers are fading into the past. The railway offers a legitimate, secure channel for trade, free from maritime insurance and payment systems controlled by the West. Every shipment is tracked, documented, and protected by international agreements. It's a closed economic loop, logistics, insurance, and payments handled within the bloc. This self-contained system insulates both countries from external shocks and financial pressure. For Iran and China, this is an economic fortress on rails. It's a new backbone for trade, built to withstand the storms of geopolitics. The West's ability to disrupt their trade is fading. As railways expand, the old levers of power lose their grip. The balance of power is shifting, fast, and for those riding the rails, the future is already here. U.S. sanctions once relied on controlling the seas and the global financial system to choke Iran's economy. The new railway drives straight through that strategy. Iran can now sell oil and goods directly to China, bypassing Western banks and the U.S. dollar. Payments are settled in local currencies or alternative systems, creating a parallel economy immune to U.S. pressure. This undermines the foundation of the maximum pressure campaign. In early 2025, the U.S. considered letting China buy Iranian oil, but only if payments were held in U.S.-controlled accounts. The railway made that leverage obsolete, letting Iran and China trade freely out of Washington's reach. The message is clear: sanctions only work when there's no alternative. Now there is, and it's running on rails. The West didn't respond with quiet diplomacy. In June 2025, just days after the railway opened, U.S. and Israeli airstrikes hit Iran. The official target was Iran's nuclear sites, but key railway infrastructure was also bombed. The message: if Iran can't be stopped at sea, the West will try to stop it by air. This was a desperate attempt to reassert control and disrupt the new trade corridor. Instead, it hardened Iran's resolve and pushed it closer to China. The strikes justified the railway's existence as a shield against Western aggression. Attacking a project central to China's Belt and Road was a direct provocation to Beijing. The fires in Iran were more than an attack, they were a challenge to the new Eurasian order. The world saw the lengths the West would go to defend its dominance. Iran's response was swift and bold. With its new rail lifeline to China, Tehran closed the Strait of Hormuz, the world's oil choke point. For years, this was a nuclear option, too risky for Iran to use. Now with the railway, Iran could absorb the blow and inflict pain on global markets. Oil prices soared, panic spread, and the West faced a dilemma: force open the strait and risk war, or negotiate from weakness. The railway gave Iran the strategic depth to make good on threats it once could only bluff. The U.S., long the guardian of global sea lanes, suddenly found its power blunted. Iran's move showed that old levers of control no longer worked. Diversifying trade routes gave Iran new autonomy and new leverage. The global order was being upended, one track at a time. The world had to reckon with a new reality. The Iran-China railway is more than infrastructure. It's a new line on the map of global power. It accelerates the shift from a US-centric world to a multipolar one. American dominance once rested on its navy and financial system. The railway creates a land corridor immune to both. It strengthens the China-Russia-Iran alliance, forming the backbone of a Eurasian bloc. This network rivals Western-led initiatives, connecting to Russia's north-south transport corridor and bypassing Western control. For China, it's a strategic triumph, reducing dependence on vulnerable sea lanes and securing energy supplies. Iran becomes a vital transit hub, linking east and west. Land-based trade is rising, empowering new centers of gravity. The world's circuits are being rewired. Steel tracks are redrawing the map. The balance of power is shifting from sea to land. The Iran-China railway offers a glimpse into the future of global trade and conflict. It proves that geography isn't destiny. Nations can build new paths to prosperity and security. Infrastructure has become a tool of grand strategy, creating new realities that armies and diplomats must confront. This Iron Silk Road is a blueprint for countries seeking autonomy from superpower pressure. Regional integration is building resilience against external threats. But new corridors mean new rivalries, as the violent Western response showed. The railway's journey is fraught with danger, but it keeps moving, carrying not just goods, but the hopes of nations seeking independence. These tracks are more than steel. They're a symbol of defiance and a path to a different future. The rumble of the train signals old certainties fading and new possibilities emerging. In a divided world, this railway shows there's always another way forward.